Is Earthling of the Great Beyond. I'm Captain Hackman of the Wonder Cheese. Welcome back. Today, I've got my friend who's behind the camera at the moment, and he's going to ask me a few questions about about the future. I'm going to try and answer them as honestly as possible. So, what's the first question?
Artificial intelligence.
As in, sort of like the idea of AI sort of taking over the world.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of films talk about sort of iRobot and sort of like Skynet and stuff like that. But artificial intelligence is now being used for pretty much most programs to learn and take take control of a sort of a problem that's going on. For example, most AIs nowadays, for like chatbots or Lanybot or something like that, they communicate with humans, but then they don't quite sort of like pass the test of human interaction, human intelligence. But in the future, maybe in the future is going to be the idea of AI is going to be intelligent as humans. You've got
Inhumans. You ever seen that TV series?
Yes, Inhumans. Yes, they actually sort of become the idea of humans, and then a lot of films do have the idea of like AIs themselves. Even the film AI, the idea of like humanoid robots becoming sort of human in a sense. They have the idea of sentience, but with AI becoming sentient, I'm not too sure about that, because the idea that they are going to be sentient or not is going to be completely different. But yeah, I think AI could progress. It could go on further, and it could sort of become more advanced.
What do you think about AI doing the military to take over human soldiers so lives are not lost?
AI in the military. We've got drones at the moment that sort of take, and that sort of you have that human person controlling the drone from thousands of miles away to sort of take over. But if you have an actual AI becoming part of the military, we're talking sort of like the whole idea of Skynet sort of thing, where AIs will eventually turn on humans, which would the idea sort of, if you had an AI in military, which military would they follow? Would they decide to work together? Would they be able to sit in there and go, actually, I wouldn't want to follow this particular person's rules because it doesn't feel like it's perfect, because they're more logical. The film Stealth, which is one of my greatest films of all time, the idea that a plane has the ability of AI, quantum processing, actually sort of after an accident thinks for itself and becomes more self-aware, and decides that it's going to sort of create war without actually having a human interaction, because AI is the whole idea. So the idea of it being in the military might actually be a bit too far ahead. Yes, it would be when we go sort of going out to space sort of thing. We'd have like AI robots that would be able to work with the military leaders, but they would need to have a consistent authority that they would answer to, and they would have to have it in their programming that they would answer to that person. Next question.
Carrying on with artificial intelligence, do you think they'll find using artificial intelligence with the new planet they've just found recently?
There was a news story a while ago, I can't remember where I've heard it from, but the idea that humans will be able to send nanites over to another planet and help be able to seed life in that planet, which will then sort of create that human sort of, an evolution of create humans again. But the Earth 2.0, it could possibly be already inhabited. So if we send an AI sort of across, what would they do? Because they have no communication with Earth. Obviously, it's thousands of years worth of intelligence, thousands of years worth of communication between the planets. If they have to think for themselves, would they decide to leave the planet alone, send a message back saying it's inhabited, we're going to leave it alone? Or would they try and still take over? Would they try and go for their programming and then sort of re-terraform the planet to make it suitable for humans? So the idea is you'd have to have someone with a conscience, someone with a moral background. And the other thing is, would we be able to have AIs to have that moral background? Could we teach it to have moral ethics, to then decide whether or not that Earth 2.0 would be worth taking over, or would it be worth leaving alone?
Right, now with global warming coming up, now we've got global warming, what do you think are the possibilities like from the films like Into the Storm, Perfect Storm,
2012 and what
2012. What's the other one? The Day World's End.
And you got films like that has talk about global warming, and the films are looking at sort of how global warming will affect things in a short run, within a single lifetime. A lot of scientists nowadays are talking about the idea that global warming is now irreversible. And in my eyes, the idea that humans are going to be stopping to using fossil fuels, or stopping to tear down forests and rainforests to make room for food production. Yeah, the chances are that we're not, and the way we're going at the moment, global warming is going to continue. And it's not just the global warming that's going to continue, but the humans are going to be terraforming the planet to their needs rather than to the needs of the other creatures on this planet. So yes, global warming is going to continue, and it's going to potentially get even worse because of our greedy need to continue.
Interesting.
It's obviously with global warming itself, the idea that sort of the world's getting hotter and hotter, which you can see from scientific satellite images and from studies as well. It is getting worse. And the idea in the future, we may be this generation, maybe the next generation, the generation after, may be the last generation that sees the planet for the splendour that it is. The idea, no one really goes out to the countryside anymore. No one goes to see forests. It's all built up. It's all cities. It's all buildings everywhere. I can't look out the window, my window right to the side of me, and see the distance. I can't see the horizon. I have to go to the countryside to see that. And now with humans sort of taking over, the countryside is slowly dwindling away. So yeah, sort of global warming is going to continue, and maybe we are within the last few generations of the Earth.
Interesting. Let's think of another question for you.
What do you think? I'll say a little bit more about sort of the idea of the global warming. Obviously, the films themselves do go to extravagant lengths. They do have the idea that in the future it's going to happen in a short amount of time, like I say, a couple of weeks or even a couple of months. It's not necessarily going to be a couple of weeks, couple of months, but it does take years for some things to happen. With the Industrial Revolution, we've had the idea that sort of we've changed our atmosphere. We've created an ozone issue. So we have all these sort of things in the future. So it's going to get worse and going to get worse. So maybe in the future it's going to be problematic for us. We're going to have the. If you've ever seen the film and the TV series Terra Nova, that is kind of sort of the idea that we go back to the Jurassic period. But in the first episode, talking about the Earth, we've used up all the resources, and the air is getting stale. It's getting more carbon dioxide, and you have to use breathers. Maybe we won't be able to go to the Jurassic period. We might go to an alternative universe, but
or an ice age.
An ice age, yeah. There's a possibility of an ice age could happen because the Earth is going to go through such a terraform event that humans and most of the animals are going to be dying off. Obviously, we are going for an extinction period at the moment. Humans are killing off more animals and more species than ever before. Than has been any other sort of species. So yeah, we are going through an extinction process. So if we do sort of go wipe out, the idea that the Earth will reset itself, then yeah, possibly another ice age. So
right, cloud, the global cloud.
The information highway, the idea that everything nowadays is going to be on the internet, and rather than
online and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, the things nowadays. At the moment, we're in the point of everything's online. For example, this video is online. It's held on a server somewhere where you can view it, and anyone can view it from across the world, and it can all be shared. But a lot of things nowadays are going in cloud-based. Most mobile phones have most of the information and stuff like that stored on a cloud base. I recently got my phone, and as soon as I logged into my user profile, it automatically downloaded everything from my contacts to my Wi-Fi preferences for different people's homes that I've been to. It's even downloaded all my favourite processes. For example, my wallpaper on my device. my previous device. It downloaded that. It downloaded everything possible from my preferences from one location to another. So yeah, everything is now cloud-based. A lot of things nowadays are kind of sort of out there in the open. There's a lot of leak hacks from people who have gone onto servers and downloaded stuff from illegally to say like, oh, this is what the information is, but people can access it from anywhere in the world. Most people have emails, which emails started off just being on the computer. It had one place location you have to transmit the emails to. But like for example, pages and stuff like that had like sort of just you had to send it to. If it wasn't turned on, it wouldn't get to the host destination. But now everything is now kept on a cloud base, so emails and that you can access from any device at any point, and you can have all your emails there. So yeah, cloud is going to be a way of the future for the foreseeable future for technology and computing.
Even gaming is now using the cloud.
Oh yeah, that is a good point. Gaming, PS4, Xbox One, even some of the older models, even PC models. We have Steam. Steam itself has the ability to, you can put a game on there, you can download the game onto your device locally, but you can go online to communicate with the servers, download patches. Most games nowadays, you get them in a disc, put them into the device, and then it downloads patches for the upgrades for the device for the game. You have most games like the GTA 5 when it came out has had since then so many updates to it. We have like new weapons, new clothing, new aircraft, and new missions, everything like that. So a lot of things nowadays are going to be cloud based, including games, and games especially. For example, Steam. You can put your game online, and people can download it whenever they want and however quickly they want. Obviously, we had a few games that had a complete fiasco from starting up, which is like The Sims, which even though you had the disc or you had the game directly downloaded onto your computer, you need to be on a server just to play a single player mode, which those sort of things shouldn't happen.
SimCity as well.
SimCity, a lot of things like that.
Destiny.
Yes, Destiny, a world-based game where you had everyone playing online. It's just purely an online game.
Along with The Crew, Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah, a lot. World of Warcraft is one of those games that it came out a while ago, but yes, a lot of the stuff is online, which you have to communicate with other people. That's the thing. Is the internet itself is now primary source of information. Instead of going down to the stores and renting out a movie or something like that, you can just stream a movie. Instead of going to watching terrestrial TV for an aerial, you can now go onto Netflix and download a movie, TV at your own leisure. So a lot of things are now just going to be sort of on their own lines.
Streaming based.
Yeah. I think you're obviously watching this video on YouTube, so you are now streaming this from a server, from one of the YouTube servers across the world. So you're going to stream this this video directly to your tablet or your computer or your phone, and you can see it from a location that's not even yours, but it's there for you. You can watch it whenever and however you want without having to store the data itself. So yeah, internet and gaming and even cloud-based stuff is possibly going to continue in the future and even get better with the new upgrades to broadbands. And a lot of countries nowadays upgrading their broadbands to higher speed. You could possibly download a whole Blu-ray movie in a matter of seconds, and it doesn't take too long.
Because internet's not classed as a luxury anymore, is it?
No, internet originally started off as not just necessarily a luxury, but it started off as a convenience, and a form of convenience. Now, with America and other countries in the world, are now classifying it as a utility. It's a standard thing. You need internet, you need gas, you need electric, and you need other water. So you need these things as a standard point of view. And having the internet as a utility, yes, it's not necessary, but imagine doing things nowadays without using the internet. It is a form of requirement. So yeah, the internet is now part of the thing. What sort of things in the future do you think is going to continue? What do you think is going to get better? Leave me a comment, give me a like, and subscribe if you want to. As always, thanks for watching.